Hello guys, my name is Kim and welcome into this new video. Today I'll be talking about how to play Heavy. So we have probably seen some war movie and saw Heavy Tank rolling over its enemies, killing everything in its path. So we jumped on World of Tanks and finally bought that one Heavy that we have had unlocked for about a month or so. Okay, so first of all, before you will even start playing, you gotta forget everything that you have seen in that movie and take the freaking cover. Your heavy tank armor is thick, but there are guns that can penetrate it like nothing. And trust me, there is nothing worse than a D-tracked heavy sitting in the middle of a field, unable to spot anyone and just eating shots from every single possible direction. Light tanks will spot you way before you will spot them, and you will be D-tracked permanently. So please, this is not reality. You get indestructible walls, so use them for God's sake. I know, your Tiger could beat the shit out the Russians in World War II, but in this game, no. The tanks it faced in World War II are 2 tiers lower in this game. Example of that is Sherman on tier 5. Thus be prepared to be gently detracked and slowly raped once you enter the open field. Second, angling. Always angle your armor. Unless you are absolute idiot if it comes to geometry, you already try to angle yourself hoping that it works in this game. And yes, it indeed does. Whilst angling, you will increase the armor the enemy has to penetrate in order to do any damage without actually increasing the thickness of your armor. Of course, that if you try to angle your armor during frontal engagement, you will have bigger profile and even a blind freaking monk will be capable of hitting you. But you will increase your armor, and thus enemies will be less likely to penetrate. This makes it a very useful strategy when the enemy tries to rush you. But I've gotta warn you, there are two types of holes. First are German cubes, which are easy to angle with little to no weak spots, and then there are those nasty Russian butt plugs, which already have their frontal plate angled, and by angling, you will only make your frontal plate nearly entirely flat. And if we are already talking about angling, why not put side scraping as our third tip? That's it, side scrape. Side scrape wherever you can. Behind every single wall, rock, even use your own teammates. Dead or alive ones. Yeah, people are dicks in this game, so why not be like them? If you don't know what side scraping is, it is a move during which you angle your side armor at over 70 degrees, which will make all enemy shells auto ricochet, thus deal no damage. But of course, enemies can sometimes still penetrate because we all know how wargaming loves jokes. And again, warning for all butt plugs out there, you must turn your rear towards the solid object rather than your front, because otherwise you will be again exposing that one giant weak spot on the frontal plate. And by the way, I forgot to mention that there are two types of side scraping, first of which being the wall scraping. Whilst wall scraping, you hide your frontal or rear armor behind the wall and expose only your well-angled side armor to the enemy. And second is side scraping in the open. But I won't talk about that because it's more of a medium tank thingy and you need speed for that. But what are you going to do when there are no solid objects to hide behind? As I've said, it's very unlikely that you will be capable of side scraping in the open. So what are you going to do? Find some hill and hold the heck down. Hold down position is great for tanks with powerful turret armor, so yes, finally something for those vodka drinking bliats. Whilst in this position, you hide your hole behind some smaller wall, hill, or the ass of T-95 whilst exposing only turret armor to the enemy. This generally decreases the chance that the enemy will hit you, as well as finally puts your turret armor to great use. Don't worry, majority of heavies are having turret armor that is even tougher than the whole armor, and those that do not are usually those few paper heavies such as DW2 or FCM50T. Hold on position is absolutely awesome versus newer players because the only proper counter to it is coming at the enemy from a different angle, which a lot of newer players are incapable of doing. As well, I recommend you to only peek out, take a shot and take cover behind that hill because otherwise you will be just a big juicy target for artillery players. Next and possibly last tip is gonna be moving. For some reason, majority of newer heavy tank players thinks that they are some indestructible force just because they are slow and heavily armored. But this will only make your weak spots easier to hit. You gotta remember that standing heavy is nothing but a dead meat on a battlefield. To counter that, you need to move unpredictably, adjust your angling, or just wiggle or something. This will make the enemy more likely to miss the weak spots. And as well, by moving unpredictably, you may make the enemy artillery miss shots, which normally would take around 50% of your hit points. Alrighty then, that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, give it a like. If you did not, please give it a dislike because I wanna know whether or not I should improve. This video might have been far longer, I know, but I didn't want to do in-depth explanation of every single thing I talked about. So if you want to know exactly what side scraping means, you can just Google it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and if you did, I hope that I'll see you next time.